The committee will come to order. The secretaries will take a silent roll. It's great to see everyone here this morning. We have what appears to be about 75 or 80 people that want to testify. We're not going to have time to hear everyone if they use up their 3 minutes. So I have some thoughts. First of all, let's remember to respect everyone else's opinion. I don't need to hear any boos, any claps, any applause. That will speed things up and it will make everyone more comfortable. We're going to start because I understand that each of our major stakeholder groups would like to make a statement with them. So we'll start with a 3-minute statement from the IEA, the ISBA, the administrators. The PTA will not be with us this morning. We'll be meeting with them later on in the week. And at this point, I would like to yield to my co-chair to bring everyone up to date on where we are on the bills before us right now. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Well, I would also like to thank all of you for taking the time and effort to be here with us today. This is impressive. This clearly indicates that there's a great number of people that care passionately about this, because I know you all have other places you could be. And I also know that there's many folks that would like to be here this morning, but schedule and resources don't permit it. So if any of those are listening, or if the word can get out, we would certainly appreciate and solicit their thoughts and ideas as well. So this is a great forum to share your thoughts and ideas, and I'm confident that we're going to hear requests for additional resources. That request certainly bears discussion. But I'm also anxious to hear thoughts and ideas about how resources can be reallocated in different ways that perhaps are more effective, because those ideas can be truly transformative in nature. I do want to take a minute also and just talk about process, because process is important. As some of you may know, recently the School Boards Association introduced legislation that they felt is important in their role as elected officials to more efficiently and effectively manage the taxpayer dollars. What Senator Getty and I did immediately upon the introduction of that legislation is bring many of the key stakeholders in our state together to talk. This included the Idaho Education Association, the Idaho School Boards Association, the Rural Schools Association, the Association of Superintendents, probably missing some of the Parents Teachers Association. We brought them all together to discuss. So if you're affiliated with any of those organizations, you should rest assured that someone is at the table expressing your opinion. In addition, Senator Getty and I, and this is probably even more important, are ever cognizant of the parents and students of our state. As a parent of 6, 3 of which are still in the public school system, I am very mindful of their needs and concerns, and I know Senator Getty is as well. And last but not least, we are ever cognizant as well of the taxpayers of our state. Those taxpayers that make this all here possible. We need to always be mindful that their dollars are being used in the most responsible way possible. So again, rest assured that this process is such that those thoughts and opinions are being expressed. That doesn't mean we're always going to agree. In fact, I'm confident to tell you we're not always going to agree. But those thoughts and opinions are being expressed. In addition, one more comment in terms of process. Any and all bills, including these, will have a full public hearing where you can participate, have the opportunity to come and share your thoughts and feelings about these pieces of respective legislation. We try to make this process as open and transparent as possible. And we probably don't get it right all the time, but our effort is certainly to do so. Again, I want to compliment you all for being here today and for expressing your thoughts and opinions on this critical topic. And then I'll yield back now to Senator Getty.
Thank you, Chairman. This is being broadcast on Idaho Public Television. Be careful what you say because your neighbor may hear it. Also, we are still accepting written comments from anyone in the group as well as anyone out in the audience. There are 4 chairs up front. To make the process as rapidly or as efficient as possible, I will call ahead several speakers that in line, and I'll ask them to come up to the front while whoever's currently presenting has that opportunity. Please be respectful, again, of time. We have a light system up here. Green means talk. Yellow means 1 minute. Is that correct? And red means your time's up. Again, we'd like to hear ideas from everyone. If someone has commented on what you want to say ahead of time, rather than restating that, please just acknowledge that you agree with that person, and if you've got other things to say, please do that. If all you're going to do is repeat what they say, I would appreciate it, and the committee would appreciate it, not to spend the time going over that same ground.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Durst.
Mr. Chairman, I'm over on the left side this time.
There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a point of clarification for our committee role. This is a listening tour, so does that mean that we're here just to listen, or are we permitted to ask questions of testifiers? What's your preference, Mr. Chairman?
And Senator, the chairman and I have not talked about that, but it is a listening session, and I would like to hear the public. If you've got questions, maybe you can write down the presenter's name, and we will have contact information available to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So with that, and one other thing, legislative procedure, we always go through the chair. So I will acknowledge you when it's time to talk, and I will cut you off when the light is red. First up, we have... stakeholders, that's correct. I believe Ms. Sear has a statement to make. I believe someone from the administrators does as well. And I saw Ms. Beckel come in, but I believe we're going to wait on the PTA statement. Is that correct? Okay. Let's start with Ms. Sear. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Senator. Okay. Chairman Getty, Chairman DeMordaunt, members of the Senate Ed and House Ed committees, my name is Penny Sear. I'm a teacher of 28 years on leave from the Moscow School District, and I'm currently serving as the president of the Idaho Education Association. I want to thank you for holding this forum on education issues today. I'm speaking on behalf of all of IEA's members who are in their classrooms today teaching their students. Our members care deeply about the decisions that you make in this building, and they care deeply about the children that they teach and the jobs that they do every day. We didn't urge our members to come here today because they wanted to stay in their classrooms. Instead, we asked the chairman to please hold another meeting, an evening meeting, so that teachers can attend and share their concerns with you. Hopefully those living around the Capitol will be able to do that if you go ahead and hold an evening forum. While there's many issues that are important to the IEA today, I want to discuss the recent introduction of the legislation that brought back most of the concepts of Proposition 1. The Idaho School Boards Association has the right to bring forward issues of concern to their members, but with all due respect, having the executive director of the ISBA stand before your committee and say that her members understand what my members feel and thought about these laws is wrong. And I assure you that these bills are insulting to our members. Football coach Bear Bryant said, when you make a mistake, admit it, learn from it, and don't repeat it. I believe legislators could take a page out of that playbook. Less than 90 days ago, Idaho voters overwhelmingly rejected the 3 propositions. None of us know with certainty why the 371,244 voters voted no, but ever since the day of SB 1108 was introduced, there was public outcry about the process. I urge you to go back, review the notes from those public hearings, reread the hundreds of emails that your colleagues received, read the many letters to editors that were printed over and over and over again. the voters said this process doesn't work. Yet since the November election, the very same process was used to develop and introduce these 7 bills your committees are seeing. Like Prop 1, the bills were written without involvement of the stakeholders. In fact, repeated attempts by my organization to have substantive input before the bills were printed and presented to you was rebuffed and rejected virtually at every turn. Keeping stakeholders, parents and educators in the dark until these bills were written and only then inviting us to the table to review, what does that mean?
That was stop.
Okay.
And
Well,
I didn't see the yellow light. Did it work?
I didn't see the yellow light. So I'll just say,
If you close, please.
Thank you. That, it's not productive, it's demeaning, and it's disingenuous to the people who care deeply about our profession, the teachers. On behalf of my members, I ask you all to step back, pull these bills, and then demand real conversations about the development of these bills. And bring us together. We've collaborated before. The financial emergency law that was passed a few years ago was not, before it was ever printed, it was a collaborative process by all of us to write the legislation. While there's many other issues I want to talk about that are urgent for your decisions, I hope as we move forward that we can find ways to work together to ensure that the children have access to the best schools in Idaho, staffed by highly qualified and respected teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sear. Ms. Ritter, followed by someone from the administrators. Welcome to committee.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Ann Ritter, and I'm the current president of the Idaho School Boards Association. And in an effort to give others the time to address you, we've made the decision not to have trustees travel from around the state to speak with you this morning. We will take the opportunity to discuss each of the bills concerning education as they arise for your debate and decision. There appears to be some confusion regarding the role of the trustees in the operation of the school districts in the state of Idaho. Trustees are citizens who are elected to 4-year terms and pursuant to Idaho Code Section 33512 are empowered to govern the local districts. Idaho statute set out 17 specific areas of responsibilities for trustees. However, it's well established that the major policy document which is used as a blueprint for district operations is the annual budget, which was required to be finalized in June of every year. This is the Meridian budget, 2012-13, 465 pages long, weighs 3 pounds. We hire the superintendents of the district. School board trustees work without pay. We are 550 elected officials working hard to help provide Idaho students with the best education possible. We do that in partnership with the teachers, administrative personnel, classified staff, and parents. And approximately 90% of our budgets go for personnel costs. We're asking for legislative assistance. The funding mechanisms for education are in a period of transition. Since the 3 mil levy was eliminated, the school districts are more than ever dependent on state funding. When the state budget took a precipitous fall and our allocations were dramatically decreased, you passed the financial emergency legislation that enabled us to balance our budgets. Today we find ourselves in a different type of financial insecurity. It's not a result of a dramatic decrease. It is the result of a long period of flat financing. Most districts have had to run supplemental levies to augment their operating budgets. These levies can only take effect for 2 years. The trustees then determine whether or not to run another supplemental, and if so, for how much. Most districts have been forced to include those levied amounts into their operating budgets. That makes the district budget dependent on the successful passage of the levy every 2 years. Our fear is the consequences should a levy fail. We had one in Meridian fail. We are still required to balance the budget. We need tools to enable us to continue to operate our districts. We hope those tools will never have to be used, but no one wants to impact the staff to the extent that we would have to, and our circumstances in that circumstance are few. Woo. Under the current statutes, the only option we have when required to make a dramatic budget cut is to cut positions, not to shrink the entire system. The consequences include increased unemployment for teachers and increased class sizes for our children. Even this option is hampered by the current use it or lose it law. We are asking for the flexibility that would allow us to responsibly budget. We are all hoping that these situations never arise. However, it remains our obligation to the taxpayers of our communities to be good stewards, not only of the dollars, but of the educations of our children. I would be remiss, go off here,
You need to close it up.
okay. In terms of the Prop 1 coming back to life, we heard three concerns about Prop 1. One was the change in what can be bargained. That is not what we're asking for. We heard the teachers, that's off the table. The second was the continuing contract issue. That is off the table. The third was the process. We've divided these into 7 bills so we can have a full and fair hearing. I'm interested in hearing why public participation in negotiations is not something that all of us look forward to.
Thank you, Ms. Ritter.
Thank you very much.